Sup, everybody? Thank you for tuning in on this week's Free Running Friday. It's actually been a pretty busy week for me, just with school and work, that I didn't have time to sesh. This was my second real sesh of the week. My first one was also in this backyard, and that was hecka sore. But I filmed this on Thursday, so I had to get out and move a little more just for this video, which I don't mind at all, actually. But yeah, it's kind of interesting coming into a session like this where you don't have much to work with, and I was honestly already just tired. I think I barely slept the last 2 nights and was just busy. And I was super sore from drilling dub corks for no reason to the grass. Kept falling, and I mean, it was fun. I enjoyed it, and I feel like I was getting a better understanding of the trick, and that's how this sport really works. You just work through the little steps, you do what you can, and eventually it gets comfortable. Even with this gainer that I was doing right here, you can just, it's something that I know I can do, and if anything, the trick's easier on flat, but doing the gainer off the mats was sketchy because it's slippery and they move, and it made me scared to really push and commit. But that's just part of the sport, and you deal with your obstacles. A lot of the times when I train in gyms, I will try to do minimal setup and will look for a cat leap or something. Just I will look for a setup that's already there, or I'll make a setup and it's super sketchy, and people will be like, "That's sketchy." I know it's sketchy, but if you go outside, you're not going to find anything better than this. So this is actually not as sketchy as doing a flip outside. Just because I don't really train in gyms much, I'm always outside on the concrete and the grass getting dirty. Well, that's what I prefer. I could always drive to a gym an hour and a half away. I think my closest parkour gym is Sessions, really, or PPAC. Just the drive and then coming back that night always deters me. But I need to stop being lazy, really, so I can train these harder tricks. This little step-up gainer right here was so freaking fun. My toe tapped, and it sketched me out, but that's the nice thing about the mats and being on grass. There was an actual little risk. It's not like anything got hurt. I was trying to do this raised arm setup I got from Jared PK. He can throw a gainer from anywhere as long as he walks up to it with his arms raised, and I get it sets the momentum, keeps your chest up so you don't throw your head back too early. But I prefer to do a little step up like that. I like that combo, a little step up gainer to pop side. So at this point of the sesh, I was actually kind of bored. I wanted to, my goal for that day was just do that step up gainer. I wanted to gainer off the mat. That was the point. But you can't just have a 1 hour sesh. You gotta just keep going when you got the time. My scoot fulls have been feeling really nice, as you can see there. There was a nice one, but I still have the habit of freaking leaning too much or whatever it is, leaning back into my twist, which makes me travel, which you'll see here. But as you can see, I traveled over to the side a lot, and it freaking makes me so mad because I've just been doing it wrong for so long that it seems impossible to fix. And I know I can fix it, and I got some good ones. I'll get some good ones in here, you'll see. See, that one was a lot straighter. The only difference I did there is right out of the scoot, I got my feet close together, and then I leaned to the side and looked at the grass for a split second. You'll see I get kind of mad at myself right here. I'm why am I not doing this how I want to? Just classic when I have these trash sessions where I'm not peak at all, in my peak mind state or physical state. And I still want to just move and feel powerful. Continuing with the back full arc. I started trying to just go for a Jose setup, which is my favorite setup. My dream is to have a dub full out of that, but as you can see, it was getting weird. I was starting to throw my arms really early, and you'll see my body kind of like sitting back as if I'm like falling into a chair on the right side. Destroyed from it. So I had this bright idea. Do a classic gymnastics setup. Throw a mat behind you to kind of force you to jump up higher and wait a little longer. My first one actually felt really good, but I jumped low because I like looked at the mat mid flip. It was one of those weird predicaments. That one felt good. Foot slipped there. Yeah. By the end of this session, I was kind of bored. The sun was setting. It was getting really windy. And I really wanted to learn 360 dive rolls because I've never actually tried them. And this is kind of how they were just turning out. And the funny thing is, like, I know how to do them good because I've done them to like a mat, but I was scared to commit to the full extension. So I was trying to do these little setups here to help with it, but going from backwards is a completely different thing than just going forward. This is probably my best attempt. And it was barely it was a dive roll. You could probably say it looks like a Dom tomato dive roll. Decided to end with some round offs. Even though my ankles were sore from the round offs from the day before, I still needed to rep some out just for the muscle memory, and I had the energy still. So the goal with these corks right here, I was actually kind of like punching into it a lot more, or like blocking a lot better. So as you can see, I'm not traveling. With my corks, I usually tend to travel forward and to the right. I don't know why, just because of the setup I use. But with this blocking technique, I was noticing I was going up a lot higher, which gave me false confidence that I could send dub cork. Not even false confidence, because I know I can do dub cork. I've just done it off ledges. So the flat ground is a whole different thing. You have to tuck faster and not pause as long and really get your feet to the ground. But it's hard. And as you can see here, I'm in complete shock in my body. I remember I just felt so fuzzy. I was like, how am I still moving when I feel like I can't even focus? And then I was like, okay, no more thinking. Let's just move. Because that's just how you do it. See, in that one, my feet do get a little closer to the ground that time. Like, they touch before my body, which to me is an accomplishment. If your feet can touch before your body, that means you're on the right axis. And that all you need is a little bit more height or a faster twist or more flip, you know? You need a little bit more of something or everything. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry this week's video is not as good as most, but it's finals week, and any other college students out there, good luck on your finals, and get that education and get that money, and make sure everybody gets outside and says hi to the sun and move around a little bit. Adios.